Frankfurt. Welcome to the Hello Hills podcast. Thanks for joining us on here.
All right, so are you ready to dive in? Because today we're going to check out this TikTok creator, Mark LACLAIRE.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, and the sources you sent are all over the place. It's like podcast outlines and a moderator application, even song lyrics. It's really something.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like piecing together a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like we get these little glimpses into how he's creating things.
Right.
And even how he's building this whole community online.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this so fascinating.
Absolutely.
Like, even random stuff can tell us so much about someone.
It really can.
Okay, so let's start with these podcast outlines.
Okay.
He's got like 2 ideas he's playing around with.
Okay.
One is TikTok tales, and the other is gaming beats and a dash of chaos.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, lots of gaming and music.
Yeah, but what's interesting to me is how he talks about TikTok tales.
Okay.
Like he specifically mentions wanting to talk about going viral.
Oh, interesting.
And how his audience shapes what he makes. It seems like TikTok is more than just a platform for him. It's like it's part of his creative journey.
A collaborator.
Exactly.
And, speaking of his audience,
Yeah.
those outlines mention them a lot. Like he talks about taking best remix requests.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it seems like he really wants to know what his viewers are into.
Yeah, that's a smart move, especially on TikTok.
Totally.
Things change so fast there.
Yeah, and then there's his Discord server.
Right, he mentions that constantly.
All the time, it's like, he's really putting a lot of energy into it.
Definitely trying to build a community there.
Yeah, and he's got rules.
Oh, yeah, you're...
There's a whole moderator application.
Oh.
And it's like he wants things structured and under control.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he's kind of different from all the chaos stuff.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Remember he also mentions sus remixes?
Oh, right.
And a rage-inducing gaming moment.
Yeah, so maybe he's okay with a little chaos.
Yeah, maybe it's controlled chaos.
Like with some structure.
Exactly.
So what do you think about those song lyrics? Do they tell us anything about his approach to TikTok?
Well, there's a lot about wanting to connect with people and breaking free from boredom.
Okay.
Even a line about dancing till dawn. That energy seems to match the vibe we're getting from the other stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember that part about a red dress?
The red dress?
Yeah, it's like a symbol of breaking out.
Okay, wait, a red dress and a pink rabbit?
Right.
I don't see the connection.
Well, it's not like a literal connection.
Right.
But think about it symbolically.
Okay.
Pink is still bold and attention-grabbing.
Yeah.
And rabbits, they often represent escape or hiding.
Right.
So maybe it's that same idea, breaking free from the ordinary.
I see what you mean.
Like the red dress.
Yeah, it's all about imagery that makes you want to learn more.
Exactly.
But what about that farm part of his logo?
LACLAIRE's farm.
Yeah, it seems a little out of place with all the gaming and TikTok stuff.
You're right.
What do you think it means?
Well, is it just a funny name? Or could it be like a metaphor?
Ooh, okay.
Maybe it's a space where his community comes together.
I like that.
Like a digital farm where they can connect and be entertained.
That would explain why he's always talking about community.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've got this image of Mark as a creator, and he's really building a community on TikTok.
Right.
And maybe even using his content to push people to be more spontaneous.
Maybe even a little chaotic.
Exactly. But how does he actually use TikTok to do all that?
Yeah.
But how does he actually use TikTok to do all that?
Well, if we look at those podcast outlines again, he mentions sharing like behind the scenes stuff.
About how he makes his TikToks?
Exactly. And he also talks about wanting to discuss like going viral.
Oh, so it sounds like getting a lot of views is important to him.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And, we talked about that research paper on YouTube.
The one about how it influences what people buy.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think Mark knows about algorithms?
Oh, totally. I bet he does.
Like, do you think that's why he focuses on audience interaction?
It's possible.
It's like maybe he's trying to get the algorithms to work for him.
Yeah, because that paper talked about creators using emotions.
Right, to get people to share their content.
Exactly. And remember Mark mentioned that rage-inducing gaming moment. I bet that would get people talking.
Yeah, it's relatable. People have those moments when they game.
It's true.
So he's really thinking about what will keep people coming back.
It's like he's playing the algorithm game.
Exactly.
And remember, he also mentioned trends.
Oh, right, like what's popular on TikTok?
Yeah, it seems like he's paying attention to that stuff.
It's smart,
It is.
You got to keep up with what people are into.
Definitely.
This reminds me of those song lyrics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all that stuff about breaking free and embracing the night.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of what you see on TikTok already.
Right.
Like those dance challenges and people pushing the boundaries and being creative.
Yeah, so maybe Mark's content is like that too.
It's possible.
Like encouraging people to step outside their comfort zone.
Yeah, or maybe it's more about capturing a certain energy.
Something exciting.
Right? Something that people who need a break can connect with.
That makes sense.
It's almost like he's making a world on TikTok.
A place where people can connect and have fun.
Yeah, and maybe even be inspired to be more daring.
I like that.
And the cool thing about TikTok is that there's so many ways to be creative.
That's true.
Music, dance, comedy, even just sharing stories.
Yeah, there's something for everyone.
And it seems like Mark is doing it all.
Using all the tools TikTok has to offer.
Right, and we're getting all this just from these random sources.
I know, isn't that crazy?
We haven't even seen his actual TikToks yet.
I imagine what we'll find when we do.
I know, right?
We might learn even more about him and how he makes things.
And how we got so many followers.
Exactly.
It's like we've just scratched the surface.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else is out there.
Like we're only just starting to figure out Mark LACLAIRE.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, we have all these pieces.
And now we have to see how they fit together.
Yeah, it really is amazing what people can do on TikTok.
It's not just about going viral anymore.
Right. Like people are creating whole worlds on there.
Connecting with their audience in such a personal way.
And with Mark, it seems like he's doing that on purpose.
You're right.
Remember how much he talked about community?
Yeah, that Discord server is important to him.
Yeah. It's not just an extra thing. It's like he's really trying to build something.
A place where people feel like they belong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's looking for moderators.
It shows that he cares.
Yeah, he wanted to be a good experience for everyone.
A safe and positive space.
Especially with all the negativity you see online sometimes.
It's true. It's easy to let things get out of control.
But he's putting in the effort.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It reminds me of that global ethics paper.
The one we talked about earlier.
Yeah, might seem random.
I know it was a little out of place.
But maybe it shows that he's thinking about the bigger picture.
Like the impact he has on his audience.
Especially the younger ones.
Yeah, they're more likely to be influenced.
Maybe he's trying to avoid criticism.
That must set a good example.
Yeah, like he's saying, have fun but be respectful.
It's a tough balance.
It is, because on one hand, he wants people to let loose.
Embrace the chaos.
Exactly. But on the other hand, he's got to set some boundaries.
Rules for how people should act.
Yeah. So what have we learned today?
What can we take away from all this?
Well, I think it's that even on TikTok, you can be intentional.
You can have a purpose.
Yeah, Mark shows us that you can build something meaningful.
And that you have a responsibility to your audience.
Especially as you get bigger.
That's a great point.
So for anyone listening,
Yeah.
if you're curious about Mark LACLAIRE,
Check him out.
see what his world on TikTok is all about.
It might inspire you.
To be a little more creative.
Or to embrace a little chaos.
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us today.
This was a fun deep dive.
It was until next time.
See you later.
Don't forget to listen to our upcoming podcasts, and thanks for probing into this with us.